there, welcome back to my channel. Yoo Hweseung of N.FLYING has released Run With Me, a special clip. Let's go ahead and see what this is about. Ooh. I'm already excited. Ooh. Low voice, his chest voice.
괜찮아 우리 가자 걱정은 잠시 내려놓고 대신 가볍게 짐을 챙기자 실컷 웃고 다시 돌아오자 거기서는 우리 아무 생각 말자 너랑 있을게 이렇게 손 내밀면 내가 잡을게 있을까 두려울게 어디를 간다 해도 우린 서로를 꼭 붙잡고 있으니 너라서 나는 충분해 나를 봐 눈 맞춰줄래 너의 얼굴 위에 빛이 스며들 때까지 가보자 지금 나랑 도망가자 멀리 안 가도 괜찮을 거야 너와 함께라면 난 다 좋아 너의 맘이 변할 수 있는 곳 그게 어디든지 얘기해줘 너랑 있을게 이렇게 손 내밀면 내가 잡을게 있을까 두려울게 어디를 간다 해도 우린 서로를 꼭 붙잡고 있으니 가보는 거야 달려도 볼까 어디로든 어떻게든 내가 옆에 있을게 마음껏 울어도 돼 그 다음에 돌아오자 씩씩하게 지쳐도 돼 내가 안아줄게 괜찮아 좀 느려도 천천히 걸어도 나만은 너랑 갈 거야 어디든 당연해 가자 손잡고 사랑해 눈 맞춰줄래 너의 얼굴 위에 빛이 스며들 때까지 가보자 지금 나랑 도망가자
Hweseung has such an incredible voice, and something that I love that he does, and he's talked about this before on a couple of variety shows I've seen with him, is the way that he is smooth out his vocals. So the reason that it like is so effortless to him, and it seems so effortless, right? It's actually not effortless. It takes a lot of effort. Is the way that he is able to go from low notes to high notes very easily without there being any seemingly break. And it was interesting when I heard him speak about this. He was, what show was that? He was with Hui of Pentagon and Vix, Ken of Vix. And he was talking about how what he does is he would just sit there for hours going back and forth and just trying to, from one note to the next, like for like a particular jump. And he would just, let's say a fifth. And he would just practice going between those two notes, just kind of like rolling through it until it got to the point where it didn't feel like he didn't have to jump, like it wasn't a jump anymore. It was more like it just naturally went up there rather than there being any sort of break, because naturally we have breaks in our voices. Some people call them passages or passagios, or a lot of people call them breaks, and what they are is they're natural places in our voices where where we kind of break our voice in order to go to the next part. So usually, like for example, I talk about this quite often. We have our chest voice and then we have our head voice. And then men have a falsetto on top of that too. It could be argued women have a falsetto too. I know. I'm just going to talk about it with men. But normally you have a break. So for me, for an example, middle C is C4. If you go above that, that's C5. For me, I'm a mezzo soprano, so my break is between like A and B, like that, right above middle C, that A and B, depending. It just depends. Is normally like where most mezzos tend to break, is in that area somewhere. So what that means is that naturally it goes into our head voice. So what we try to do is we try to really work, especially in that part of what we call not breaking, or like smoothly transitioning into our head voice, so that it doesn't like seem like there's a switch. If you listen to a lot of singers, you just naturally hear this and pick it up. It's also how we kind of tell where your voice placement probably is. For example, sopranos tend to break in a different area than mezzos do. Same with tenors and baritones and basses. They all have different parts of their voice where that naturally breaks. So the fact that he's paid so much attention to that is the reason that when he sings a ballad like this, he can really simply and naturally go from his chest voice into his head voice, and it's like nothing has happened. It's like just like weightless, almost like it was just like the wind, just like whoo. And that's what really makes his singing so interesting and beautiful, is because he's worked so much at that. And he's talked so much about focusing on that. Now, he also has incredible lungs. He is such an amazing vocalist, because he can, as well, because his breath control is so good. When you hear him just place something so delicately high when he had just been singing in his chest voice, that's really difficult to do, even for seasoned professionals. It's just something that we work at consistently and work really hard at. For example, like I'm not currently training right now, so I would have to spend some time warming up, getting used to that, and really focusing on that to do it like that. It takes a lot of effort. So I think that's one of the reasons that Hweseung, that like he stands out, is because of the fact that he focuses so much on that. And I love that he's talked about that before too. So I really love this. I'm not a huge ballad fan, but I love the fact that I'm able to just pay attention to those things of Hweseung's voice, because he does them so well, and it's just so incredibly like, this is him. Like I love that ability from him. So tell me what you guys thought. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part in this MV? And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.